Okay, so we're going to go over the free response part of test 12, and once you view this video, then you are welcome to come in and do a different version in order to get some points back on the last test. Okay, so for question number 1, we are asked to find the perimeter and the area of Joey's bedroom if the length is x plus 8 and the width is 2x plus 4. So the perimeter is the sum of all the sides, and because this is a rectangle, then there is a specific formula to find the perimeter, and that is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, so 2 times the length, well, that would be 2 times x plus 8, plus 2 times the length, which would be 2 times 2x minus 4. So it does say to simplify this. We want this in simplest form. So we do need to continue here and multiply the 2 times the x plus 8, the 2 times the 2x minus 4, and then combine like terms. So we get 2x plus 16 plus, and then 2 times 2x would be 4x minus 8 when you multiply there. Okay, the parentheses there was not necessary. And then from here, we can combine like terms. 2x plus 4x is 6x, and then we would need to do 8 minus 16, or excuse me, 16 minus 8, which would be a positive 8. So we have a perimeter here of 6x plus 8. And then for the area, we want to multiply the length times the width. That's the formula for area. So I'm going to do this using the distributive method for problem 1 here, and so that's going to be x plus 8 times 2x minus 4, and then to multiply using distributive method, I will take the x and multiply it by the 2x, and then take the x and also multiply it by the negative 4. Then I will also need to take the 8, multiply it by the 2x, and take the 8 and multiply it by the negative 4. All right, so when we do this multiplying, we're going to get an area that's equal to, let's see, x times 2x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 4 is a negative 4 or minus 4x. 8 times 2x is 16x. And 8 times negative 4 is a negative 32. From here, what we want to do is we want to combine like terms. So that's going to be 2x squared plus 12x minus 32. So there is our equation for the area of this bedroom. For question number 2, it says that they're going to remodel their house, and the new room, Joey's new room, is going to be have twice the dimensions. So if we were to take the original dimensions of the house and double them, obviously this is not drawn to scale, but this would then become a side, let's see, that's 2 times x plus 8. In order to get twice the dimensions, I need to multiply the original dimensions by 2. And that would give us here a dimension of 2x plus 16, and then 2 times 2x minus 4 is 4x minus 8. Okay? So there's the new dimensions. Now then, I could then find the new perimeter, and actually being that I'm taking a test, you really would want to try to do it both ways, especially if you have the time. You really should do it if you have the time. Where I take these two new dimensions and I plug them into the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle, which is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Or what I can also do is just take my original perimeter and multiply it by 2, okay? And so I would get a perimeter of 12x plus 16, because that's what I would get when I multiply the 2, or when I multiply 2 times 6x plus 8. Okay, so perimeter is equal to 2 times 6x plus 8, which is the 12x plus 16 that we have there. Okay? And then for area, now area, to get in the new area, what I can do is take the original area and multiply it by 4. Because if I double the dimensions, I am going to actually quadruple the area. Okay? All right. So we're finding the new area, so we can do that by multiplying by 4 here. And again, that would actually mean I do need to multiply each of those terms from the original area by 4. And if I was to do that, I would get an area that is equal to 8x. Okay, and then 12 times 4 would be 48, so that'd be 48x. And then 32 times 4 is 128. So that's a negative 32 that I'm actually multiplying, so that'd be a minus 128. Now then, if I was to find the area using the actual dimensions, so I'm going to actually do this one both ways, just to see that it does come out to be the same either way. So I'm going to do this multiplication of the length and width for the new bedroom by the box method. So I put 2x plus 16 across the top, and then the 4x minus 8 along the side. So I'm going to make sure that I call that a negative 8 there, because that is 4x minus 8. Okay, now then multiplying 2x times 4x, well, there's our 8x squared. Okay, and 4x times 16 is 64x, and the negative 8 times 2x is going to give us a negative 16x, and then 16 times a negative 8 would be a negative 128. Okay, and so then we would get an area that is equal to 8x squared. Okay, so 64x minus 16x, well, 64 minus 16 is equal to 48. So that's going to be a plus 48x and then minus the 128. So you see, either way I do it, whether I take the original area, multiply it by 4, or whether I take the length and width and multiply them together, I still get the same area. So that's a good way to double check and make sure that you've gotten the right area. Doing it one way, you're likely to make a small mistake and not catch it. Whereas doing it both ways, if I did make a mistake one way, I would have a pretty good chance of catching it the other way. Okay, and then it says to calculate the actual area, perimeter and area for both the original and the new bedroom if the value of x is equal to 8. Okay, so again, 2 ways I could do this, and we should really try to be doing as many ways as we can when we're taking the test. Now, I do understand there's time constraints, so you do have to make sure that you manage your time, but we do want to try to check our work as much as possible. So if x is 8, well, this side that was x plus 8 would then actually be a 16, and this side that was 2x minus 4, we'll see that's 2x, that's 2 times 8. And then 2 times 8 is equal to 16, and 16 minus 4 is equal to 12. So if I actually take those dimensions, I can then say that the perimeter is 2 times 16 plus, I don't know where that 3 came from, 2 times 16 plus 2 times 12, meaning it's going to be equal to 32 plus 24. And 32 plus 24 is 56. Now, it does say to use units here, so we need to say that's 56 feet. I could have also, of course, just used that equation that we come up with problem 1 and say that the perimeter is equal to 6 times 8 plus 8, which is also going to be 56. So either way I go about it, I am going to get the same perimeter, and doing it both ways, I have a little more confidence that that answer is correct. And then finding the new area, or excuse me, the original area, I should say. I can again, if I plugged in those two I plugged in the value of 8 for x, I'd get a rectangle that's 16 by 12. And 16 times 12 is equal to 192. So that would be 192. Now then, when we measure area, we measure it in square feet. Okay, so that's feet squared. But again, I could use that equation that we came up with and calculate it as well. Either way is okay. I'm not going to show both ways here, but you could have plugged it. Well, I might as well actually just do the plugging in. So that'd be 2 times 8 squared plus 12 times 8 minus 32, and that would also give you the 192. All right, for the new perimeter. We would be able to do it both ways. But again, we can say that for sure it's going to double the perimeter. The new perimeter is going to be double the original perimeter, and so that's going to give me a new perimeter of 112 feet. It's going to quadruple the original area. So that's going to be 192 times 4, which is going to be 8, carry the 1, or excuse me, no 1 to carry, I'm sorry, 6, carry the, now I want to carry the 3, and then that's 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's 768 feet squared or square feet. So that gives me that area. I could just say, well, if these dimensions are in fact doubled, then the new dimensions are going to be 32 by 24, and 32 times 24 would equal the same 768. So that's that. So hopefully you understand that, and you'd be able to come in and show me that you can understand that by doing a slightly different problem. So come to tutoring and do that, and I'll give you some points back that you missed on test 12.